that's good. Thanks very much.
Great. Well, I have to acknowledge you for being here today as part of the first Eco Summit in little old Perth, which is an idea conceived, as I was reminded a while ago, like most great ideas, over a few pale ales down at Little Creatures one Friday night when Yale was visiting from Sydney, and Simon and Colin, etc. So, it doesn't matter whether you're a climate change skeptic or not, you have to agree we can't keep consuming the Earth's resources at the same rate. The figures just don't stack up. And in the words of Al Gore, I think some of the best changes we initiate at the grassroots level without waiting for governments to initiate those changes. We're all familiar with what just happened at the Copenhagen summit and what will happen if we wait for governments to initiate those changes. So this first Eco Summit was aimed at mainly design professionals who are in the position to lead and educate. As you know, there's a lot of major changes coming through, the first of which is government initiated, the new BCA 2010. I'm sure many of you are very familiar with that. It's a minimum 6-star rating. It's going to have a major impact on how we do things. For example, I heard the other day that cavity brick in and of itself won't make it without insulating the cavity. Now that, if you think about how we do things in Perth, that has major implications going forward, and many other things in that code. So I find it, many find it an imposition, another thing to comply. I find it an opportunity. Mandatory disclosure. An energy assessor friend was telling me the other day about a program he saw with university students in Canberra who won't rent a house until they know that the star rating is a certain star rating, at least above 5-star, because they can't afford the energy costs. Now, if that's happening already, you can imagine, if you extrapolate forward, how that's going to impact on the capital value of a home going into the future. So your star rating and the capital value, resale value, etc., are going to be linked, whether we like it or not. The new Burst software, which is all run on the CSO Accurate, as you're probably aware, design software, includes provisions which haven't been turned on yet to include issues like water conservation, which you can find out some amazing information today that you probably didn't know about that area. I didn't. The stuff I sat and listened to, I didn't know last night. It was quite amazing. And that's going to be included in those forms of software to analyse the energy efficiencies. They'll start taking into account other issues like water conservation and green services. And as I said, I do feel we do have a responsibility, because in the industry that is so complex with so many components, there's an incredible lag time for change, only exceeded by the education system, which takes about 40 years for change. So it really starts with us, and particularly I believe at the design end of the profession. Our philosophy, just on that note, is that, believe it or not, I'm a consulting engineer, but deep down I'm really a closet architect. My dad just said, don't do that, do engineering, because you just won't make it. It's not secure, right? You can do architecture when you've finished engineering. What a con. These kind of style. If you've done one engineering degree, you'll never go back and do another one, I can tell you. But anyway, the best investment to make in the building in a home or any building for that matter, I believe, is in the design up front. And that's shared with, I think, most engineers some of I've known who have had the top engineering positions in Australia, like the head of Leighton Contractors. They all said the same thing: get the design right. And I advise everybody to do that. Invest up front in the design. Get your orientation right, your passive solar design, your ventilation, spatial layout, and particularly make the thing look good. Because I won't make any comments about our urban environment, but I'm sure you'll agree it's not where we'd like it to be. And the next best investment, I have believed, up until last night, and I'm open to changing this when I heard about the water issue, is in the thermal efficiency of the building envelope. That's an investment which we'll go on to explain, more about the payback time and more about the what that's going to mean going into the future. I guess we were always looking for a building system that would satisfy a number of concerns, a number of issues. And having worked with so many different systems for such a long time and seeing all the pros and cons of every way of working, I thought there's got to be a way where you could Lego a building. You could have all the adaptability, all the flexibility, but you could Lego it. You could Meccano set for those who are a bit older, or if you like it the other way, IKEA it. So do the preparation and planning off-site, so when it comes on-site, you minimise site time and it's fast. Because one of the biggest costs in building is actually the time it takes to build something. Wouldn't you agree? We wanted, of course, great structural properties, and that's a given, including load bearing and flexural strength. And I'll talk about that in a while, just what that means as well. Is efficient and clean. We've already mentioned, Simon's mentioned about my wife being the cleaning police on site. She's a police a few other things as well. I wouldn't have had that muffin this morning if she was here, let me tell you. Food police, the fashion police, etc. We want a superior thermal rating, we want good acoustic rating, be installed manually.